Hello, my dear ones. I want to talk to you today about something that has been on my heart for many years. It's a simple question, but one that carries so much weight. What do you want people to remember about you when you're gone? Now, I know this might sound a little heavy, but stick with me. I'm not talking about some grand legacy or fame or fortune. I'm talking about the simple, everyday things that make up the essence of who you are. The way you live, the way you love, the way you give. You see, over my long life, I've had the privilege of watching people come and go. Some of them left behind monumental legacies, but others like me have lived quiet lives. And yet, as I get older, I find myself wondering, what is it that truly matters? What do I hope people will remember about me when my time comes? A life well lived. Let me take you back to a time when I was a young woman, just starting out in this big world. I was just like you, eager, full of dreams, but also full of questions. And like many of you, I didn't know exactly what my purpose was or how I would make a mark on the world. I remember standing in the kitchen one day, looking out the window, and wondering what kind of impact I would leave behind. I didn't think I had done anything special. After all, I was just a girl from a small town. I hadn't changed the world, I hadn't built a fortune, and I hadn't become famous. But as I sat there peeling potatoes for dinner, it hit me. The way we live, the way we love, the way we show up for the people in our lives, that's what matters. I may never be remembered for something grand, but I wanted people to remember the love and care I gave. As I grew older, this lesson became more and more clear. The little things that matter most. You know, my dear, it's not the big events or the loud moments that people remember most. It's the quiet acts of kindness, the small gestures that speak volumes. I've seen it in my own life. There was a time when I was going through a particularly tough season. I had just lost my father, and I was struggling to keep my family together. I felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders. But in that time of grief, it wasn't the big gestures that made me feel loved. It was the little things. The neighbor who brought over a pot of soup, the friend who sat with me in silence, the stranger who smiled at me when I was having a bad day. Those little acts of kindness, those quiet moments of care, are what people remember about you. It's how you make them feel. I've always believed that if you can't do great things, you can do small things with great love. I've spent my life trying to live by that principle, and I think it's what people remember most about me. The importance of genuine connections. I want you to know something, my dear ones. Life is all about the people you love and the people who love you. Yes, you may have a career, a house, a car, and all the material things society tell you need. But when it's all said and done, what really matters are the connections you've made along the way. When I look back on my life, it's not the things that stand out to me. It's the people. My husband, Tom, who loved me fiercely through thick and thin. My children who made me proud every day. My friends who have been with me through every season of life, offering me their wisdom, their support, and their love. I remember one particular moment when I was feeling completely alone. I had just lost a dear friend to illness, and I felt the ache of her absence so deeply. But then one afternoon I received a letter from another friend, Maria, who had no idea what I was going through. She simply wrote to say she was thinking of me. That letter meant the world to me. You see, my dear, the people who love you, the ones who show up when times are tough and who celebrate your joys with you, they are the ones who will remember you when you're gone. And it's the way you show up for others that they will remember most. Lessons learned from a life well lived. Over the years, I've learned a few lessons that I'd love to share with you. These are the things I hope people will remember about me when I'm gone. 1. Love is the greatest gift. Nothing in this world is more important than love. It's the foundation of everything. I've always tried to live my life with love at the center. Whether it's loving my family, my friends, or even strangers, I believe love has the power to heal, to lift, and to transform. To be present for others. Life is busy. We're always rushing from one thing to the next. But the greatest gift you can give someone is your presence. Take the time to listen, to sit with them, to be there when they need you. 3. Live with integrity. A life lived with integrity is a life that leaves a lasting impact. Always do what's right, even when it's hard. Your character is the thing that people will remember long after your actions have faded. 4. Never stop learning. There is always something new to learn. Never stop growing, never stop seeking knowledge. Life is a journey, and the more you learn, the more you can share with others. 5. Leave a legacy of kindness. I hope that when I'm gone, people will remember me for the kindness I showed them. It doesn't take much to be kind, but it makes all the difference. Quiet legacy. I don't need to be remembered for fame or wealth. What matters to me is that when my time comes, the people I leave behind will remember me for the love I gave, the lessons I taught, and the kindness I shared. I don't expect to leave behind a big estate or a name etched in history, but I hope that the people I've touched will carry forward my legacy in their own lives. Perhaps my children will pass on the lessons I taught them, and perhaps their children will do the same. That's the true legacy, one that doesn't end when you're gone. It lives on in the hearts of those you've loved and in the lives they touch. Final thoughts. What will you be remembered for? So, my dear, as you go through life, remember that it's not the big things that matter most. It's the small acts of kindness, the quiet moments of love, and the way you show up for the people who matter. Ask yourself, what do I want to be remembered for? How do I want my life to impact those around me? I've come to realize that it's not about what we do, but how we do it. Live your life with intention. Be kind, be present, and love deeply. And when your time comes, I promise you, the people who remember you will be the ones whose lives you've touched in small, but meaningful ways. With all my love, Grandma Suzie. Thank you, my dears, for spending this time with me. Remember, life's journey is better when we walk it together. If these stories and reflections warmed your heart, Be sure to subscribe and join me for more wisdom, comfort, and a little sprinkle of joy. Together, let's keep growing one story at a time. Until next time, stay safe, stay hopeful, and remember, you're never alone. Grandma loves you.